Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel. So today I'm going to be doing my January 2024 perfume tray. I'm not sure where 2023 went, that was really fast. So I'm going to start with a recap of everything that was on my tray for the month of December. The first thing I'll talk about is what is missing, which is the Jean Paul Gaultier Scandale by Night. I decluttered that. I wore it the first couple days of the tray to really get a feel for how, I liked it or not, because I wanted to do a declutter. And it's nice. It reminds me a little bit of a couple other things I have in my collection, but that cherry note just was not my favorite. So I decided to let that one go. Everything else on here, except for one we'll talk about, got some good wears and I formed some good opinions on them. So let's start with my Guerlain, and this is Gourmand Coquine. I got that from the Fountain store that's in, I know it's in Europe. I don't remember exactly where, maybe France. I'm not positive. It's been a while since I purchased it. I have it decanted into this little Kilian atomizer, and it's really nice. It's a really pretty gourmand scent with chocolate in it. It smells so much nicer now actually than when I first purchased it. When I first purchased it, it was nice, it was pretty, but it wasn't particularly my favorite scent. I will say it has gotten smoother and richer the longer that I've had it, and I've worn it a couple times and enjoyed it. Not my favorite scent though, so I'm not sure if I'm gonna need to hold on to all of the rest of this juice, but it was a perfectly pleasant fragrance, and I didn't regret spraying it on. The next one I have here is YSL's Libre Le Parfum. So I kind of impulse bought this a little bit. I've been wanting to try it for a long time, but I was hesitant because of the added ginger and honey note in here. I've tried other fragrances with a honey note in there, and it was really sickly sweet and made me kind of sick to my stomach. And I don't like ginger. I don't like the way ginger smells at all, and it's rare for it to be in a fragrance that I actually like. It has to be very, very well blended, super smooth, so that I can kind of feel the spice it adds, but I can't pick out the ginger note itself. So this one I'm torn on. It is a deeper, more sultry, bolder, richer fragrance than just the Libre Intense that I have and love. And I think that is because of the ginger, the honey, and I think there might be an extra added note in there. Oh, saffron. So I do like what those notes add to the fragrance, but that ginger note in the opening to me is, I don't want to say very screechy because that's a slight exaggeration, but it's a little screechy, it's a little scratchy, and I don't like that. Thankfully, it does settle down, so that ginger note doesn't stay as kind of verbose as it does in the beginning, but it's always still there. But I will say it does make this a very nice fragrance, and in the mid, to me, it smells very similar to the Libre Intense, and then in the dry down, this one definitely packs a little more of a punch. So I still have to wear it some more to really decide if I'm going to keep it or not. They're different enough, I think, that if you like all of them, you shouldn't feel bad about having them all. Mine is more of, do I like it more than the Intense because of that ginger note that's in there? So, I mean, this is still new. I want to give it time to settle and relax, now that it's been sprayed a bit, because I know a lot of fragrances do get smoother and a little just more well blended, so I don't want to judge it too quickly. I wore this a couple of times. There was only one time that I wore it and I was like, oh, I wish I'd put on something else. But once that ginger note settled down, I was fine. The next one, actually let me go with this one, is Ellis Brooklyn. This is Après. I wore this a couple of times. Again, this is just the travel, because I know I don't need a whole bottle. This is one I just enjoy wearing when it's cold in the winter time. I'll reach for it a couple of more times this year while it's still cold out. It's a nice, it's very like fresh outdoor, on a snowy mountaintop, refreshing type of fragrance. So again, not something I would want to reach for year round, but I do enjoy it this time of year, and I'm glad I have the travel and I will continue to enjoy it. The next one that was on my tray was Initio's Musk Therapy. I love this fragrance. I got it this year, and it has obviously musk. There's a couple different types of musk in here. I believe there's bergamot, there's black currant. I'm I'm not sure if there's woody notes in the base, but this is just a really beautiful, clean, fresh type of fragrance. It gets very creamy the longer something sits on your skin. I wonder if there's sandalwood in it. But this is one that definitely, first time I tried it, I was not impressed, did not think it deserved the price tag that came along with it. But as it sat on my skin, it gets better and better as time wears on during the day. I get good longevity out of it. It's not a huge projector, but I can smell it on myself throughout my whole entire workday. I have zero complaints about the performance, and I'm glad to say that it actually does really well in colder weather. I thought it wouldn't, but I enjoyed it this winter, or this past December month. So it seems like this would be a really great signature scent. Then I have Moresque Seta. This was another blind buy for me. This is a very warm, spicy, I believe myrrh fragrance and some vanilla. This is nice. I was kind of about it. I got sucked into the hype watching a couple YouTubers on it, and the bottle is beautiful. I found it for a really good price on, I believe, Fragrance X, maybe Fragrance Net. And I will say, the more I wear it, the more I've gotten used to the scent profile. I think warm, spicy, and myrrh were not something I was very familiar with. It's really nice. It's comforting, it's warm, it's cozy, it smells nice, it's not too overpowering. The performance I find to be fine. It's not a screamer, which is perfect for that scent profile in my opinion. And I really enjoyed it, and I will be keeping it. I don't know that this was something I would repurchase in the future, but glad to have it now, and I will continue to wear it. The next one is Parfum de Marly Herod. I did reach for this a couple times. This was actually worn more by my boyfriend this month than myself. He reached for this quite a bit. It smells good. I wish I could tell you how much is left in it, but the bottle is obviously not see-through, so I can't tell. I would say there's probably down to there-ish. So this is a really nice tobacco fragrance. Maybe there's boozy notes in there, cinnamon. It's gourmand, but not foodie, in my opinion. Probably because of that cinnamon makes it feel gourmand. It's unisex, maybe leaning slightly masculine depending on your skin chemistry, but it's just a gorgeous fragrance for the cooler seasons. My boyfriend wears that year-round, and he can pull it off. I tried it in the summertime. It smelled fine, but it just wasn't my favorite. But we got some good wears out of that this month, so I'm happy about that. And my dad came to visit, and I think he almost tried to steal that bottle. I would have let him take it, but he actually grabbed my Parfum de Marly, I think it's Darlie instead. And the last one, this bottle of Lancome Oud Bouquet got 0 wears. It smells so good. So I actually went out a couple of times, and the goal was to wear this when I went out, but I was just in a mood for something different. I went out with my friend. We went like shopping and had dinner, and so I wore a Tom Ford fragrance. I went out somewhere else, and I can't remember, but this one just didn't get reached for. So I'm actually going to put it on my tray again for January because I do want to wear it. Just smelling it, maybe I'll wear it this evening just sitting at home. It smells so good. It's so beautiful. I wish I had been able to get a smaller bottle because you don't need much. So this is just going to last me forever. But this is a really nice fragrance that I didn't get a chance to wear, so it's going to get another chance this month. Okay, so let's start off with the first perfume, which was from the last tray. This is Lancome's Oud Bouquet. This has notes of oud, whether that's real or not, I cannot say. Praline, vanilla, rose, and saffron. And this is a beautiful, very sweet, very heavy type of fragrance. And again, this is not one I would wear in the summertime, but it's great for cooler weather, and it's just very intoxicating in my opinion. I think just that praline note really rounds it out and makes it what it is. Let's move on to a few travels that I have that I'm going to put on my tray. One of them is from my Project Pan 2023 that I didn't quite finish. So this is Parfum de Marly's Safanad, and you can see how little I have left. So I completely forgot about this in my Project Pan and didn't finish it up, so I'm going to put it on my tray. And I do have the full bottle that I was reaching for instead of the travel spray because I completely forgot about. Oh, it smells so good. So if I get through the travel, what I will do is continue to reach for it from this actual bottle. But Safanad, again, like I said, it's a really nice orange blossom fragrance. It has pear and orange in the top, so it's got a little bit of juiciness and sweetness. Then there's ylang ylang and iris that has a very soft, powdery vibe to me. It's not overpowering. And then the base has vanilla, amber, and sandalwood. This is one of the fragrances that also, as it sits, it gets smoother, richer, and on the skin, it opens up a little green on my skin, which I find interesting because I'm not sure what the green note is coming from, but that settles down, and it's just very warm and inviting and sexy once it settles down onto my skin. The next one is from Scentbird. This is, I just checked it, but I already, oops, forgot. Sorry about that. Did not mean to knock you all around. So this is Cherry Punk from, I think it's room 1015. So this has notes of cherry, saffron, pepper, mimosa, violet, jasmine, and then in the base it has leather, and I love leather in fragrances if it's done well, tonka bean and patchouli. So this fragrance, I really like. Cherry is not my favorite note. It can start to smell really fake or really medicinal in a lot of things. But it's done really well in Cherry Punk. It's a fun, but not too hard to pull off, slightly edgy, fragrance because of that cherry and that leather. I'll have to test it out more. I find the performance to be okay, but it's usually something I spritz on, and then later on in the evening, I'm putting something else on top of it anyway, so I don't really clock the performance and the longevity of it that much. But I do want to finish that up and decide if I want to bring in a full bottle or if I'm just good with my Kayali Love Best Burning Cherry, which even though they don't smell the same, they give me the same type of vibe, like a smoky dark cherry fragrance. The next travel I have is from Fragrance du Bois, and this is Minuet at Demi. So this is how much I have left of it. So this is a nice warm fragrance, warm spicy. There is cardamom, pimento, some bergamot, probably to cut through all the dark notes. There's caramel, there's coffee, vanilla, tobacco, cinnamon, musk, woody notes, some boozy notes. And I will say when I first got this and tried it on, the smell is lovely. It is intoxicating. It is beautiful. And it was very, very soft, which is nice if you're doing a cozy night in, but it kind of is not awesome if you want to wear it out because chances are it's not going to get great sillage. At least I didn't think so back then. I've only worn this at home. But I did smell it the other day. Oh, I keep bumping into you guys. I'm so sorry. I did wear it the other day, and it smelled stronger, a little more potent, a little louder. So I want to put it on my tray. Number one, I want to finish it up. And number two, I want to see if time has helped this fragrance develop into a slightly more heavy-hitting fragrance. Because if it does, then I think it might be worth the money investing in a bottle because those bottles of Fragrance du Bois are not cheap. And then my last travel size is Tom Ford, and this is Tobacco Vanille. This is almost brand new. I've spritzed it on maybe once or twice when I first got it, and again, it's been sitting for a couple of months. So this is an amber spicy fragrance, and let's see here. It has obviously tobacco and vanilla. There's also tobacco blossom. Spicy notes, which it does smell a bit spicy. Tonka bean, dried fruit, which I found very interesting, and woody notes. Smelling it from the atomizer, it doesn't smell like anything special. I remember spritzing it on my skin, and as it warmed up, it seemed to smell a little bit better. So I am excited to wear it this month and kind of get to know it a little bit better and form an opinion, see if it's full bottle worthy or if it's just something I'll keep in a travel for the occasional times that I'm in the mood for it. So the next fragrance that's going on my tray for January is Kilian, this is Love. I was in Sephora the other day and noticed that they had brought back a lot of the Kilian bottles in store to try, and I have been so curious about the Extreme and the Eau Fraiche version of these two, so I spritzed them both on. I think I need to try it again on bare skin. I'm sure I'd had a bunch of other things on me, so it kind of impeded what I could smell. But it made me crave this one. So I'm going to put it on my tray for this month so I can get some wear out of it. It has a lot of notes, but it is a white floral fragrance that has also rose and iris. There's some bergamot and pink pepper in the openings. You get a little, I guess maybe some, you know, freshness and spice cutting through. This is a cloyingly sweet fragrance. When I first got it or first smelled it years ago, it made me sick to my stomach for hours. So the fact that I love it now is very shocking to me. The base notes have vanilla, caramel, musk, civet, which I'm sure is artificial in it. But this is, yeah, just a very sweet, just sweet. Yeah, that's all. It just smells sweet to me. When I first got it, it smelled like Fruity Pebbles cereal that people talk about. That's kind of gone away, and I think that's because it's had time to sit, and the juice is so much darker now. When I got it, it was a lighter orange, and now it's like a deep, deep orange, orangey red color. But this is a really, really sexy fragrance in my opinion. And I've already got a little dent in it, but it's time to give it some more wear because it just sits there gathering dust. My next one is also by Kilian, and this is Black Phantom. This is one of my favorites from the house. This has dark chocolate, and dark chocolate, I don't like dark chocolate in real life. I'm not a huge fan of the way it smells. Definitely don't like the way it tastes. I've seen, you know, it can accent certain dishes and it, you know, it's fine. But dark chocolate is just not something I tend to mess around with. But in here, it's so perfect. There's also rum, coffee, and caramel, so it's just this really dark type of fragrance. It also has almond, which I've learned recently I have to be careful with. If the almond is too much in a fragrance, it's going to turn me off. But in here, I think because you have the dark chocolate, the rum, and the coffee, nothing's really going to be able to overpower that combination. There's some heliotrope. And I wouldn't say that this fragrance is powdery, but it does have that's very, very slight, you know, purple floral quality to it. I wouldn't know it was in there just by smelling it, but I can definitely feel that kind of quality that it gives to fragrances in the base. And then there's some sandalwood and some sugarcane, and the sugarcane definitely helps to sweeten it up along with the caramel. This is a really beautiful, intoxicating fragrance, very unisex. It's not just for men or women. Anybody can wear it that likes that scent profile. I find it easy to wear, actually, despite the notes being in here and how dark it is. Maybe it just suits my personality type, but I find this easy to wear. I wear it out for errands. I can wear it at home, out for dinner. I've worn it to the movies. I just maybe adjust how much I spray depending on where I'm going to be. But I love that fragrance, and I want to give it some wears because I haven't put it on in a couple of months. I think maybe I wore it in October or November. I can't remember, but it's time for some more wears for that one. My next one is by Kayali, and this is Vanilla 28. So you can see my bottle here. This is the 100 ml bottle, and it is about half gone, which is impressive for me because just straight up vanilla fragrances, not my jam. But this is done really well, and it's very interesting. So it has vanilla orchid and jasmine, brown sugar, tonka bean, and in the base there's amber, amberwood, musk, and patchouli. And it's just this kind of sweet, boozy, almost like really natural vanilla extract type of fragrance. But the notes in the base really add this intoxicating trail. It makes it a little more grown up, and it just smells so good. I mean, obviously for someone who doesn't like vanilla perfumes, I've gone through quite a bit of this. I tried to get the smaller little 50 ml bottle, but that was during the craze when it was like always sold out. It randomly came back on Sephora. I was really curious, purchased it. Of course, it sold out right afterwards. And so I've had it in my collection for maybe this is the second year. And it got darker and richer and smoother and even better. And I actually have a backup. So I'm going to put it on my tray for January because it needs some wears. And then I also need to get through it so I can start working on the next one. Actually, that's kind of hard to see over there. Let's put this back in here. And then my last one for the month of January is by the House of Initio, and this is Atomic Rose. They have such beautiful bottles, and purple is my favorite color. So, the smell's so good. So this has pink pepper and bergamot in the opening, 2 types of rose, Egyptian jasmine, Madagascar vanilla, and amber in the base. And yes, this, when I first smelled it, definitely reminded me of the Delinas. And I think that's just the, the rose or the type of rose and how prominent it is. But they don't smell the same now that, number one, they both had a chance to like chill in my collection, and that my nose has definitely gotten better at sniffing out notes. So I wouldn't say that they smell the same. This is a much darker, a little bit, I don't want to say skanky because that makes it sound maybe negative in some way. But this is definitely the edgier version of one of the Delinas. Maybe a little more like Delina exclusive, but that to me is a softer, very feminine, pretty fragrance. And this is a sexy fragrance. Like, this is just very seductive, very mysterious. Definitely going to draw people in. So when I'm in the mood for that type of rose profile, but maybe the atmosphere or where I'm going or the mood that I'm in is a little bit darker, Atomic Rose is the one that I usually reach for. And I'm not sure I've put it on a tray yet since I got it. So I want to put it on a tray and give it some wears and get to really, really know it, because I've actually only worn it a few times. I had a little travel that I got from Scentbox, liked it, sold that, got the full bottle. And so this month I'm going to wear it and see how I really, really, truly feel about it. Okay, so here are the fragrances that are going to be going on my perfume tray for the month of January. If you have any recommendations for me, please leave them down in the comments below. I don't think I have anything else for you today. Thank you so much for watching. Please like and subscribe, and I will talk to you in the next one. Bye.